Hey guys, what is up? So I keep like being all happy in the beginning when we not really about to talk about anything good. So we're gonna be talking about James. The name is James Charles and the recent scandal. So if you don't remember, I'm sure you do, but if you don't know, back in 2021, James came out with a taking accountability video that's no longer up because he was caught talking to people who were not of age. And then in 2022, he pretty much had a break. Everything was smooth. Like there was no huge drama that I at least recall at the moment. It was quiet for a year, right? And then in 2023, as I'm filming this, it's January 8th, so we've hit like 7 days of this year, and there's already James Charles drama. Let me explain. So this TikTok user, Stout Gun, at first I felt sorry for him because I was Googling up him. I was trying to type in the name because I don't really have TikTok, and like it already came up. So there were so many people who are Googling this dude's name. So off the bat, when you get to this guy's page, there's a bunch of videos of like just James Charles videos. And basically how it goes is that James wanted this guy to be his fake boyfriend. So first, James followed him on TikTok and then messaged him age check. So I think that's great that James is asking for like age. And I hope he's asking for like a driver's license or passport. Like I'm hoping he's asking for those things. So after verifying that this guy was of age, James then messaged this guy on Instagram. And so they used the vanish mode, which I think is so ridiculously stupid because you could still just like I have my phone right here and all you have to do is just kind of have another iPad, whatever, and kind of just record it. This camera, record it and I can play it. It's just so funny that people don't think people will still do that. But for real though, when this guy did that, like took photos, of what James sent him when James was sending him that in vanish mode, I was like, this guy's shady too. He's an adult and he's shady. What is he still doing talking to James if you don't like him? I mean, sometimes these claims are just not all it's cracked out to be. I mean, this is 2023, and yes, you should always investigate when the victim comes forward, but I think it's silly to not. It should be an equal thing. You should be able to also talk to the other individual too, my opinion. Okay, so now let's read the requirements. James is asking for this person to be his fake boyfriend. So let's read the requirements. It's a really lucrative role. It's called My Boyfriend. Requirements: 6'2 plus, must love escape rooms, horror movies, and cuddling. Big armpits, hair, and an occasional FaceTime call. The salary is $0, but it's a good job offer, I think. Perks include a cute boyfriend with a great personality and huge free living in a $10 million house in LA, fun travel opportunities, good, and more. Oh my gosh, that definitely sounds like a plan, Anyways, I feel, and honestly, so far, I don't find anything wrong. It just brings me back to James taking accountability video to where he's like, I'm never gonna, find people online again. I have more of the power, so I realize there's a power dynamic, so I won't reach out to anyone online again, yada, yada, yada. James Charles, it was my first video on this channel, that accountability video. And so that's why I just remember it so well. And I'm like, you're doing exactly what you said you were never going to do. That's why people are really pissed, because this is like a BS. This whole situation is complete BS. This guy just wanted clout. This was all for clout for this dude. James went back on his word, and that's why people are really pissed, because if he can go back on his word with something like this, minute as this, just don't go online to find guys. Shit. Then what else is James going back on his word with? So people are upset about this video as well.
So obviously, being that you are straight, I would assume that you don't know a lot about like the gay community.
So the reason why many people are upset about this video as well is because this illustrates that James could be in a situation like he was, where he knew that this individual was straight and he still wanted to proceed anyways. But I have a really big question. So if he deleted his taking accountability video, does that mean he's not taking accountability? Because then all of this goes out the water and James is just where he's at from back at square one. I don't know. And then two, I'm just like, well, if this is a gig, it's a $0 unpaid gig, but it's a gig, it seems like. So does it really matter then if he's straight or not? Either way, I totally get why people are upset, and I think James should just stay offline if he's trying to find a guy. I mean, James Charles is a beautiful man. Like, I don't understand why he can't just walk out of his home and find a boyfriend, go to a bar. He seems very social, for real. He seems... Better yet, go to New York. You don't like LA? There's a lot of gay bars in the city. You'll have a blast. I just don't comprehend why he doesn't do that. Okay, so now this is a theory, guys. Just hear me out. I feel as if, though, this is so stupid, right? This is really stupid. Why would James Charles repeat the same exact thing knowing that this person, even though they did an age check, they could still reveal who he is? I think it's very possible that James just wants anything for people to, stop associating him with being a pedia. Gotcha, censoring myself. And I believe it's very possible that James did this on purpose. That video of him trying to get the guy on FaceTime to talk.
So if I'm being like, oh my God, David, you're annoying, over text, right? You don't know if I'm saying like, oh my God, David, you're being annoying. Or like, oh my God, David, you're being annoying. Or like, oh my God, David, you're being fucking annoying. Because all three of those are completely different, like, emotions that you cannot see through text. You only get to actually experience those through a FaceTime call or through being in person. Even over the phone, you still miss out on things because you're missing somebody's facial expressions, right? So because you refuse to hang out with people or because you refuse to FaceTime, you're not allowing people to actually get to know you as like a human being. And that's a massive, massive problem whenever it comes to being in a relationship with somebody. You cannot fall in love with somebody simply just from text.
I truly believe that was all just fake to see if the guy was really the guy that he saw from TikTok. Kind of to confirm that even though this guy gave me his driver's license or etc. to show his age, is this really the guy? You know what I mean? I don't think it had anything to do with, his words taken out of context. I just believe that this is all a ploy. I could be wrong and James Charles is stupid at it again, but that's truly how I feel about it. Now, this guy claims that after he refused to FaceTime with James then sent him 2 illicit photos. And it's not like, obviously it would be stupid on this guy to post those photos, but like, there's also no proof, with that being said, of these photos, because, that can go into my little theory that I got going on, because I'm like, well, if James then sent him 2 illicit photos, then my theory is out the water, right? And James really just is so dumb and stupid with this again. Like, I get that he wants to find love, but Jesus, there's so many other ways to do it. But, I don't know. And another thing, too, this guy's sister came out saying that he was basically trying to troll James for months.
He was talking to James Charles about a month and a half ago. All those videos are a month and a half old. And he started posting them last night around midnight. And they went viral. And now Twitter is doing its thing. Reddit's doing its thing. People on YouTube doing their thing. And he obviously did it for views. There's no hidden meaning behind it. And James Charles did nothing wrong in this situation. I know the screenshots that's on the internet that were sent to my brother look kind of questionable. But again, they spoke for a few weeks. My brother led him on a bit. Even though he said he was straight, he was leading him on.
So when this guy's sister come out and has something to say, yeah, I'm not about to trust you either. See, this is like what I'm talking about. 2023 knew me, because now I used to be like, oh my gosh, believe the victim. But you know what? There's 2 sides to a story, and it's irresponsible to sit there and ask one party, even if that party came first and forward, and not ask the other. It's irresponsible to not investigate both individuals. And on top of that, the guy was hearting stuff. So if you didn't believe the sister, believe that he was hearting stuff. And you don't heart things. If you want someone to leave you alone, what you don't do is like a message. That's not what you do. You block them. You stop talking to them. You don't proceed. And the real question here is, does James have any friends? Are you guys giving him advice like, hey, James, there are other ways you can do this? And the real issue here, other than my theory, is that James was trying to essentially be a sugar daddy. He needed not to do this online and to do this in real life. Like, you're rich, bruh. You can do this in real life. And to me, this all boils down to white privilege, you know, or not even white privilege, just like rich privilege too. I don't know, pick one. I don't know about you guys, but James sat down and he basically admitted to a crime and nothing happened. Nothing happened. That was either rich or white privilege. Either way, if nothing happens, even though you title the video taking accountability, then delete it. Like if nothing happens, then if I was James, yeah, I would probably feel like I can do anything I want. I can go back on my words. I can just do anything because I'm James Charles with a $10 million house, like he said in that DM. Damn, guys, what do you guys think about James Charles other than like him admitting to a crime in 2021? I had to think about the year for a moment, but what do you think about this? Do you think it was a crime? I don't. At first I was livid because I was like, I don't want to hear anything about James Charles. But then after listening to the LGBTQ plus community, after listening to the community, reading what they had to say, I also believe that this wasn't a crime. This TikTok user was talking to James Charles for clout, and that was about it, you know? But leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And honestly, his sister thought he was full of shit too. So anyways, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon on the next video. Bye, guys.